All, this is Bhaskar Patil. I have 10 plus years of experience, real time in this performance testing and engineering, field. So I have worked on many tools like load energy emitter, neo load. This batch is specifically, found for JMeter performance testing, right? Where we will see all the concept of performance testing, okay, all theoretical part and everything. We will cover what types of testing are there in performance like load, rest, endurance, volume, spike, and basic all the required details like what is workload matrix, what is throughput, what is response time, what is TPS transaction per second, and different graphs and all, right? So basically, we will cover in this batch around 20% theory part. Like we will cover all the theory part in 1 or 2 sessions, first 2 sessions. Once everyone will aware what is performance testing, why we need to do it, and there are multiple types as well. So once that is done, we will directly move to practical sessions, right, where we have multiple applications, practice web applications, where we will see how to record, how to do further like fine tuning. Like once you record the script, there are multiple phases, right? Just record the script and then do the parameterization, then add the think time, then assertion, then multiple stuff are there in the scripting part. So like that we will start. So basically, this is for beginner level course. So anyone can join. Freshers also can join this training batch, or experienced people also can join. So as per my experience, many people join, like 10 plus or 12 plus experienced guys also join this training, this performance testing training, right? So if you are a senior at lead level, you will have some idea around this, how performance testing works, how this JMeter tool works, right? So you can you can coordinate with the team members, or any team member is there in your team who is doing performance testing. You can closely coordinate, you can understand the concept and all, right? And if you are a fresher, this is good opportunity to start with performance testing skill sets, right? Because there is a huge demand in industry for performance testers. Okay, so this is the overall aspect. So any question as of now, or shall I go ahead with the syllabus? So this training will be for 2 months, and we will run this on only weekends, like Saturday or Sunday. Or sometimes, if you guys are available, we can take a Saturday and Sunday as well. Any questions so far?
No,
That
sir.
will be whole online, right?
Yes, yes, 100% online.
Okay.
Yes, and end of the training sessions, we will have interview rounds. Like if you are interested, that is compulsory activity anyway. So we will take your interviews from other trainers, so that you will get some good confidence and you can face some interviews as well. Also, we will help in placement as well. Yogesh sir from Testometer will guide you, and we have questionnaire as well. We can share the questionnaire with you, and you can get prepared. And we will give some call as well, like where performance testing opening is there, you can go and give the interviews. So that placement assistant, question bank, interview readiness, we will prepare at end of the batch. Last 1 or 2 sessions we will keep for that. So basically, we will take 2 hours every week, 2 to 3 hours, and sometime, if possible, we will run 2 hours on Saturday and Sunday, based on the availability. So we will create one WhatsApp group once this everything is done, like admission and every process is done. So we will found a WhatsApp group and we will communicate there, like timing and all. And timing also flexible, right? So if 50% people saying like this week we will do on Saturday, we will go ahead with that. So based on the majority opinion, we can drive this batch. So let me go ahead and show you some content, so you'll get some high level view on how we are going to cover in this batch, right? So just a second. So this session will be online sessions. If you want to understand any more details, you can visit this website, uh, www.testometer.in course JMeter performance testing. You can visit this website. And training method will be like I already told, right? 20 percent theory and project work 80%. So you will see the real practical sessions, how to record the script, how to fine tune the script, how to execute the script. There are multiple modes, right? So you will see all those stuffs. So I'm giving you real time, flavors like how industry works in performance engineering space. That we will cover everything, real time things, right? Course duration we will target to finish within 2 months, and availability on only weekends, either Saturday or Sunday, based on our majority pool, right? So course benefits will be interview questions, as I mentioned, during the sessions as well. Wherever required, I will explain you, this is required for your interview, or this is required for this and this. So basically you will get interactive sessions there. Everyone can ask questions, queries. We will go very slowly, because this is new for you, right? So you maybe have expertise in automation or functional or any other stuff, but this is new to you, so we will go interactively and slowly, right? And resume preparation as well. I will share some sample resumes, how performance testers resume look like, and then you can, based on that, you can update or prepare your resumes as well. And then real time scenarios with example and solution discussions, right? So I will, during the execution or this scripting part or practical sessions, I will tell you what happens in real time in teams, how we handle this in day to day work, right? And then we will have assignment as well. For example, today I have given you some today I have explained you some concepts, like how to record the script and how to put transactions within that script. Then at the end of the session, I will ask you some assignment, similar assignment, not very tough, but you can refer my script and you can complete your assignment as well, right? We also provide the study material, question bank, interview questions and all, right, during the batch and end of the batch as well, based on your requirement. Okay, that was about training. And yeah, I already mentioned this one. This will be real time training, as I'm working in day to day life, I'm working as a performance engineer. So I will explain all the possible stuff, like how it works, how you want to prepare, like, so that will cover. So training syllabus will be overview of performance testing. We will do it in first session, right? Or in performance testing, what is performance testing, why it is required, what are different types of performance testing. As I mentioned, like, there are multiple types, right? Load, trace, endurance, spike, volume. So we will go and discuss each and every type in details, how it works, what scripts are required to perform specific task, or what settings, extra settings are required to work on this test types. Then why to use performance testing tool, and what is JMeter, right? JMeter is open source tool, so this is widely used in today's in the IT industry. So we are using JMeter. That's the reason, because this is completely open source. Anybody can download, install, and start working on JMeter. And then there are multiple execution modes. For example, if you recorded the script, you have completed the fine tuning, then while the execution you have multiple options, right? So for example, GUI mode, from where you can open the JMeter, you can open the script and you can run the 10 user 10 iteration, for example, right? And another is non-GUI mode. So most of the time we people use non-GUI mode, because GUI mode will take a lot of resources on your machine, on your load generator, like CPU, memory, and other resources, while non-GUI mode will be very lightweight. For example, we will open the command prompt, and from here we will hit the command saying run this script, right? So JMeter will execute that scripts and it will give the results. So this is non-GUI mode. Again, there is another mode, distributed mode. Suppose you want to run multiple users, like around 20, 30,000 users, right? So one or two machines will not support that much of load, right? Nowadays we have Linux machines as a load generator in many companies. I've seen that. So suppose we want to run 20,000 users, then we need 5 to 10 load generator machines, whether it is Windows based or Linux based, right? So to work on that scenario, we can use distributed mode, where we will set up all the 5 or 10 load generators based on your requirement, and then we can trigger the load test from single machine, and you can control all those 5 machine as a 5 or 10 machine as a slave. So there is a concept called master and slave. We will discuss that in more detail when we start the sessions. So Distributed mode is nothing but firing the load from 5 to 10 different machines, and you can control that in master machines. So that capability we have in JMeter, right? So yeah, that was about the running JMeter and all these things. So these are some components you will not able to understand. So but I'll try to give you some flavor. So thread group, controller, samplers, right? Thread group is nothing but your script. For example, you have one test plan and you want to create 5 different test scenarios. For example, there is a login logout script, simple. There is one bank transfer flow, so that is your second script. And then third script will be to check the or verify the this pay details and all. Fourth script will be your you if you want to see the transaction history, that will be your another script. So suppose if you have 4 to 5 scripts, you can add different 4 to 5 thread groups within the same test plan. So that is thread group. Controllers, again there are multiple controllers, logical controllers, transaction controllers. Samplers are multiple samplers are there. For example, HTTP request sampler, where you will put all the details required to hit the HTTP request to the server or web application, and then you can run the scripts. Logic controller and listeners are nothing but your graphs, all the graphs like summary report, aggregate report. There are multiple graphs like transaction per second graph, then error per second or total errors graph. So multiple, around 20 plus graphs are there. So we can discuss in details. Timers to run your script smoothly as real users, right? In real user as well, right? When we use the username and we take some time to think on password, and then we logged into the application, then we navigate or we take some pause, right, between our transactions in day-to-day life, right? The same way we have to make our script workable, right? So timers are there, constant timer, throughput shaper timer. There are multiple timers in JMeter, so we can make a use of that assertions to verify whether our script is working correctly or not. To verify that, there are multiple assertions: HTTP assertions, response assertions, HTTP code assertions, where you can put HTTP response as a 200, right? That means your HTTP request is correctly passed. And there are multiple like 500, 404, and you can put all those. But the simplest way is to put the response assertion, where once you logged into the application, there will be some like welcome user and some notes, right? Just use that in your assertion, so that it will automatically verify all your virtual users. Because in the real time we work as a one user, right? But in script we have to run it for 5,000, 10,000. So there will be multiple requests and responses, that will be very difficult to go and manually verify whether you are getting the correct response or not. So that's the reason we will put assertions, so that once we verify the assertion it is working correctly, we can run any number of user and any number of iterations, right? Iterations are nothing but repetitions. For example, you are logging to the application, that is one activity, right? We call it one iteration in performance engineering space, right? So one user one iteration means I'm going to log into the application, right, one time. That is one user one iteration. So one user two iteration means I am going to log in the application 2 times. So that's way iteration works. Then configuring elements like pre-processor, post-processor, and building a test plan. Like I already told you, right? There is a test plan in JMeter. You can add multiple thread groups or multiple scripts within that test plan, and then running the test plan. Then there are multiple things, right? Cookie manager, HTTP request processor, cookie support, HTTP support. These are saving the test plan, running test plan. These are some basic activities, right? To required to run the JMeter scripts in day-to-day life as a performance engineer. Okay, and then important part is recording. We will start with recording. Once the theory part is completed, we will start script recording sessions from third or fourth sessions. Once everyone will aware why we are why we are running the scripts, and what is performance, how it works. Once that is understood, then we can go ahead with the recording sessions. So where we will record the script, and then I will explain each and every detailed steps to you. So you will not have any like further questions. You can see the feedback, like how we testometer runs the performance batches, and our real time feedback from people who joined in the past and all. Then there are multiple things, right? Once you record the script, then that scripts will have multiple values, dynamic values, right? So JSession IDs, cookie IDs, or some security parameters. So that we have to handle dynamically, right? Because that will not work as a security implementation. Your vendor or your application developers will have some tokens within your sessions or applications. So once the recording is done, you have to go and see what are all the dynamic values, and you can go ahead and handle that values with the help of regular expression, or help in help of parameterization, correlation, right? These are the basics things. Like parameterization means, like, suppose I have logged into the application with my user ID and password, but when I'm going to run my script with 500 users, I will require either 500 test users, or one user or five user with multi-login access to the application, right? Then I will provide all the users and password with property files, and our script will use that, read that username and passwords, and it will hit the 500 users to our application. So that way we have to work. Like dynamic values are very important. Once you learn this technique, you will excel in your scripting part. So handling dynamic values is very important. We people call it correlation. Correlations, like handling dynamic values with regular expression and all. So I will explain how to form the regular expression, how it works. What are the basic parameters, like left boundary, right boundary. And then the actual parameter name. So all those stuff we will discuss. Then yeah, dynamic server values I already explained. Parameterization, then header manager. Header manager are required, to put all the header details. Like if there is a HTTP request, right, that will have multiple parameters like header and then body parameters, right? In header there will be like document type or protocol, port numbers, everything will be there in the header, or which HTTP method you want to use. Like there are multiple HTTP methods, right? To hit the URL, you will use the get method, right? For login purpose, you need to use the post method. So that we have to select during our scripting. So there are also multiple methods, put delete options, but most of the time we will use get and post. Get is for just get the static resources from the server, and post is to post some values with body parameters, right? And then yeah, test data preparation is very important key point here. Like how to prepare a valid test data that defines that will affect on your overall results. So you have to create the test data in correct manner, so that in a realistic manner, so that it will give you the correct results, right? So there are multiple stuff, like you can use notepad CSV files to provide your test data, right? And so we will see in detail how to create those CSVs, how this column and rows work with JMeter and all. And then adding assertions I already explained, right? So you have to validate your response. So you can validate with data. For example, I need to receive 200 KB with this request. So you will put 200 KB as your assertion part. If you want to check response size data, or if you want to check just a static response, you can add those lines. For example, welcome x and x users, or welcome user, or home screen, or there will be some menu bars, right? Post your successful login. You can add all those details in your response assertions. Then running multiple script with JMeter, right? So first we will record, we will end to end prepare our one single script. When everyone is aware how to do it, then we will go ahead with multiple scripts. So I will explain then how multiple scripts merge together in JMeter test plan. What are all parameters we need to take care for multi-user multiple scripts, and how to manage all the user and iterations for the specific scripts, right? Suppose I'm running five different scripts within single JMeter test plan, then I need to manage all the details, right? For example, if you ask me, my first script will hit only 10 users, second script will hit 100 users, third script will use 500 users, right? Because requirement will be different based on your client request, right? So based on that, we have to prepare volumetrics, and then we can run the scripts. To configure all those details, we can use JMeter test plan, right? Volumetrics is very important part, another part where we have to understand client requirement, how the real time data is working in the production. For example, we have two scripts, two scenarios, test scenarios, and that is working in the production, running in the production, that is live. So we need to analyze the production logs first. We need to understand what is the daily volume for this specific scenario, and based on that we can prepare the volumetrics. So I will explain how to prepare volumetrics. There are two three techniques, so we will use the best one. So how to prepare volumetrics, how to configure that in our JMeter or any other tools, performance testing tool, right? So once you have the right volumetrics, then only you will get the right results. For example, in multiple, in my day to day life as well, people ask me, this is the production scenario, so analyze the results and create the same scenario in your test environment, right? So I used to monitor the production logs. Otherwise we will get a dump from admin users or DBA users, and you have to do the analysis, like what is the daily transaction count, what is the daily hits on this specific scenario, what is the daily volume, 1 million, 2 million, 5 million volume is coming to this scenario. So based on that analysis, we have to prepare the volumetrics. We have to repeat the same scenario in our test environment, right? Again, there will be a test environment will not have production like configuration in terms of CPU, memory, cores, and all, right? And load balancer and all. So again, we have to discuss one important part here, which is scale down factor. Like suppose production having some x parameters. So most of the time small companies will not allow that as it is, right? Because we are in cloud nowadays, and costing is per minute, or per this execution. So most of the companies will ask you to downscale the environment based on some parameters, and then do the executions, and then we can correlate that with the prod volume or prod configuration. So we call it upscale downscale. For example, if client asks me to downscale with 50%, I will downscale my environment, test environment, with 50% of production configuration. That means if I run 500 users smoothly in my test environment, that means it will support 1000 users in the production. That way we have to calculate, right? So I will explain that aspect as well. That is very important. While creating volumetrics, I will show you that, like how to do upscale downscale, and what are the main parameters, like CPU, memory, number of cores, right, in database or web server, app server. So that all stuff we will discuss in volumetrics preparation session. And then reporting and analyzing the results, this is very important part, right? Now you are a performance engineer and you have done the scripting, so your scripting will not analyze, or not viewed by developer and all test managers, right? So that is for your internal stuff. So once your script is ready, all the scripts are ready, test scenario is ready, volumetrics is ready, now you are able to run the scripts, right? You have executed the scripts. Now user and stakeholders are more interested in understanding the results, what meaningful results, or what meaningful report you have prepared. They will not understand this, like what is assertion, think time, response time, TPS, right? So they will just ask you what is the response time to what is response time for login for 500 users, what is response time for login for 5000 users, right? What is the TPS for 5000 users for 1 hour load test duration? They will ask this question because they will need these answers. And as a performance tester, you have to prepare all those graphs and results, right? You have to show them that this script is executed for 1 hour, 2 hour. There is no any errors from your side, right? That we have to show in the graphs. And the application errors are there, we have to highlight that during this execution we got so many of errors, 500 errors most of the time we will receive, or 404 errors we will receive. We have to highlight that during the report preparation, right? And there will be multiple reports, for example interim report, summary report, right? So if you are working for the client, there will be interim report. So after each and every execution you have to prepare interim report, where you will put all the details around the specific load execution, load or trace execution. While summary report will include all the load test, for example 2 3 load test, one trace run, two volume test. So all those tests you have to club together and prepare a test summary report. So I have ready samples with this current what industry is using, what formats are they are using. So I will simply explain my steps, but I will remove all the client details, and put some like general details, and we will share with you. Like I will share with the sample as well, like how interim reports look like, how the summary reports looks like, so that you can refer my reports, ready made reports, and you can prepare your reports in your office. for your clients, right? So workload modeling, yeah, so best practices are how best your workload model is. Like I just explained, right? Volumetrics, that is nothing but a workload model. For example, you have to analyze like what is the number of users hitting this scenario in production. Based on that, you have to prepare what is the daily volume for that scenario. Based on that, you have to create the test data and execute the same volume in the test environment. So all that best practices we will follow during the this training batch. Okay, then these are some best practices like cookie manager, authorization manager. If your application is not giving the authorization, we need all these details like host and then user and then password. All that detail we will put, and it will enable us to hit the request from the JMeter. Then reducing resource requirements, right? So smartly we have to prepare our scripts, and we have to run that through the best way, so that it will reduce your resource requirement. For example, if you don't know how to run it from non GUI mode, then you will ask 5 to 10 machines, right? Because your JMeter will get hanged during your execution. If you are running the script from your GUI mode and from your machine, it will support only 100 or 200 users, not more than that. But for 500 or 5,000 or 10,000 users, you should go with the non-GUI mode, where command prompt will work for you. And in other stuff, you can go for distributed mode, right? So that are the best practices. Also, one important part is bean shell scripting. This is very important. As a performance tester, sometime you need to write some code, basic code. This is very high level language, bean shell scripting, where you have to simply add code, something like add cookie, remove cookie, and delete cookie, right? And sometime you need to write a code, 4 to 5 or 10 lines code, to pass some dynamic values from one parameter to another parameter, right? So that I will give you some examples. I'll show you that how to write this and what is the syntax for this. So you'll learn some bean shell scripting as well within this session. But most important thing I will highlight here is, as a performance tester, you no need to create a code in day to day life, right? You have to write record the script, and it will get recorded in some format, and you have to follow that format. But out of 5 projects or 10 projects, I would say in one of the project it will require, like for example, you are working on banking projects, right? So the application complexity or security will be highly implemented within that application. So sometime we need to use those scripting bean shell, which is readily available in Google as well. You can Google and add that. So I will tell you the techniques, like how to Google it or how to write our own code, you know so, but this is very rare. Out of 100, 95% you no need to write any code. But 5%, in some cases, you will need to write the bean shells code. Okay. And then distributed testing, I already explained. Then assignments, right? So, in day to day, or once we start this batch, in day to day work, I will assign you some task. So before next session, you have to cover that assignment. You have to complete that assignment. So this will be interesting assignment, right? I am not putting much pressure on you guys. Like some of you will be pressure freshers, and few people will be experienced, but not in a performance area, right? So this will be easily doable assignments. For example, I will explain the step. I will create my script in front of you. I will share that script with you, and I'll ask to do some other scenarios, and there will be some one or two challenging transactions will be there. So that way we will go ahead, right? And of this, we will we will take mock interviews by industry experts, like I am there, or other experts are there. I'll ask them to take your interviews if you are not comfortable with me, because I have explained all the steps, right? So if you want to check with some other experts, we can arrange interview for you. We will give the time slot, everything details, and then you can go and give the interview to get the confidence, right? And then coding tips, I already explained, right? So what basic coding is required, I will explain that as well. But don't worry, this coding is very minimal in performance area. Okay. And then real project work, if you are interested, we have multiple sites where you can go and you can write your script, you can record, you can do the practice, and you can create your similar projects, right? So yeah, that was about the course overview. So basically, we are using JMeter because this is open source and currently widely used popular tool in the current performance area. So that's why we selected this tool. Other tools are also there, like a load runner, but that is very costly tool, and not used in many small scale companies or mid scale companies. Okay, so that's the reason we purposefully selected the JMeter for this course. Okay, any other question?
Hi, Bhaskar. Good morning. So I have two questions actually. They're not questions, concern. First one is I have 10 years of experience and that is a manual testing experience. Okay. So would you help to scale my resume as per the performance testing? Because the interviews that I would be facing, obviously they would ask for experience performance testing. So how would that be beneficial for me, like helpful for me?
Okay, yeah. Thanks, Amita. So, how it works basically, guys, like, this is my 10th batch with Testometer, I guess. So, sorry. So, how we go ahead, like, you have 10 years experience, right? So, once you finish
Yes.
this 2 months batch, I will ask you to add 1 year of performance testing experience, because I'm going to share all those details, techniques with you, so that you can
Okay.
simply add your 1 year in performance testing. So,
Okay.
that is not 100% possible to transform you
Correct.
from 10 years manual to 10 years performance, because people will expect more details when you are in 10
Right.
years, right? So simply we will add 1 year experience. If you are fresher, then well and good. If you are experienced, you can say 9 years in manual, 1 year in performance. So that
Okay.
1 year confidence I'm going to give you. That is the
Okay.
assurance from Testometer, because you will get all those details, like how to execute and how to manage. But another
Okay.
benefit is, I had many students, or we can say participants from the past, where they have 10 or 12 plus experience. In in next phase you will have lead or test manager role, right? So you have to
Right.
manage your resources as well. In that
Yes.
case, this will be very useful, because if you have any junior or fresher who is
Hmm.
working in performance, you can closely coordinate, you can give your inputs, and that way also you will excel your career, right? And
Okay.
make your profile good. Yeah.
Okay.
So these are two benefits. So everyone, so this is very important part. Once this batch finishes, 2 months batch, you can simply add 1 year experience in performance. That much of confidence and that much of knowledge you will get here.
Okay. Thank you, Bhaskar. And the second concern was I am actually enrolled into testometer batch, and I'm also going through Selenium Java session. That is also weekend batch only, 9 to 11. So I just hope that all the sessions will be recorded, because just in case if I miss any of the sessions, so that the recorded sessions will help me. Or if the batch timings would be after 11 a.m., that will be very much helpful.
Yes,
I
so basically, we have a separate application for this training purpose. This is just a first meeting, right? So that's why we use Google Meet. But we have internal app where we'll have all the recording sessions available. You can log in at any time. You can go through the videos multiple times, and that access is for lifetime access. You can use it for up to 1 year, 2 year as well. So every recording will be there with the date and description details. You can simply log in and use, because many time it happens, right? Suppose 20 participants are there, all the 20 will not available on specific week, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, so you can go and see the recording, and next session first question I will ask any question or any doubt, any queries. Once you have that 5 to 10 minutes, we will keep it for queries and doubts in every session, every weekend session, right? So once that is
Okay.
done, then only we'll go ahead. So
Yeah.
rest assured, yeah, you'll have the recording and everything.
Yeah.
And
Thank you,
post
Bhaskar.
batch, yeah, post batch as well, you will connect with me directly, or via Testometer or via Yogesh. You can directly connect with me. You can do WhatsApp. If you have queries, if you have interview scheduled, you can ask me before 1 or 2 days what are important parameters, how I need to prepare and all. So support will be for longer duration. This batch is just
Mhm.
for 2 months, right? But support will be for there. Now, from last 4 to 5 years, people still contacting me regarding their real time queries as well. Many participant got into performance field post our this training, and they frequently ask me questions on WhatsApp and all. Whenever I get free, I used to reply them with solutions. So that way we will work.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Sure. Welcome. Any other question?
Yeah, hi
Akash
Bhaskar.
and
Revati here. Same like Amita for 10 plus years of experience, like entirely into manual testing. What will be the complexity level while going through this training? Because exposure in automotive, medical devices, healthcare, that is more for if for the participant. Then how will it prove and how what will be the complexity level?
so complexity will be medium, I would say, because everyone can understand, fresher as well as you have 10 to 12 year of experience, right? So scripting part is easy. I will explain in very easy way. And since this is JMeter tool, everything will get recorded, right? In script recording, you will have some hierarchy trees. So you will just visit, like it is not like load runner. In load runner, if you record the script, you will have 100 500 lines of code. That is also not that much of difficult, but as a fresher or as a new person, you will see some complexity there. But in JMeter, that is very easy. Here, each and everything will get recorded in HTTP form, right?
Yeah,
If you
but
click on
while
that HTTP request, you will see all the basic details. So
yes,
you will
but
simply
while
understand.
scripting and debugging point of view, I'm asking like,
Yeah, yeah, that
yeah,
is easy. That is easy. You will easily understand, and you have good experience, so you'll get good view as well. Like I'll explain in that way, you'll easily understand. Like basic, we are going very slowly, right? So definitely you'll understand this, and many people went through this batch 10 plus 12 plus, and the feedback is good.
okay.
Yes. Yeah. Any other question?
Yeah, Bhaskar, I have one question. This is Salman.
Okay.
Yeah. So, are we going to cover the performance testing for the desktop application in this syllabus?
For desktop, JMeter will not support. But if
Okay.
you guys are interested, then we can have one session with Loader as well, based on our your feasibility. So we can add one session with Loader as well. I don't have any problem since I'm working on multiple tools, right? So I will give the flavor of Loader as well, how it works with desktop, because JMeter will support only web applications most of the time. So we can do
Okay.
that if everyone is ready. Otherwise, we can go ahead with web applications.
Yeah.
And also
Sure.
important part, thanks Salman for asking this question. So other important part I missed in explaining this syllabus is we are going to cover APIs as well, because that is very demanding and in day-to-day applications. So we will cover API with JMeter, like how to configure APIs, because for API we will not have recording, right? We have to manually set that. So I will explain how to set APIs in JMeter and how to execute that. So for web application, obviously we will do recording, and for API we will need to set manually our test scenario. For desktop JMeter, unfortunately JMeter don't have support for desktop applications, but nowadays 99% applications are web applications, so no worries about that. But still, if you feel you have that in your office or with your client, we will cover that in alone as well. One single session we can arrange for that.
Sure, Bhaskar. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thanks. Yeah. Any other question? Mangesh, Maya, Omkar.
What about the certification for the performance tester?
So post the successful completion of this 2 months batch, you will get the certification from Yogesh and team from Testometer. So this certification will be Testometer certification.
No, I am asking about the standard level, like
So
ISQB now.
yes, yes. So IST cube is for overall functional one, right?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, yes.
yes, yes. So in IST cube, I am not sure how many questions they will ask from performance stuff, but
No,
for
no, no.
IST cube,
I'm asking about is there any
certi-
certification for the
yeah,
performance
yeah.
tester?
Okay, okay. There are multiple
Certified.
certifications. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There are multiple certifications. You will go ahead with that. I think many of the certifications are available with low runner, and for
Mhm.
JMeter you have to check. I need to check that how many certifications are available for JMeter. We can share that within the batch,
Okay,
and
so we
based
we are
on your
going to
interest,
provide
you
with
can
the
prepare.
test.
Yes, yes, you can prepare for your certifications. I will guide you. I will
Mhm.
provide the list how many certifications are available for JMeter, so you can prepare any of that certificate, right?
Okay,
So
okay.
yeah, because there will be multiple certifications where your experience level and your understanding required is very high. Few certifications are beginner certificate, so I will share the list with you, and you can go ahead and do the exams.
Okay, thank you, Bhaskar.
Yeah, no problem. Sorry. Anybody, any other question? Feel free to ask questions, because before booking the slot or booking your seat, better to have a clear view on what you are going to learn in these 2 months. What will benefits of this training course for your career or your profile, right? So get in touch with Yogesh and team if you have any further questions on fees and all. I am not aware, like you need to get in touch with Yogesh and team. So ask about fees, admission fees, dates. We will start sessions immediately next week or next to next. So before that, book your slots, book your seats, and Yogesh will guide you through this process.
So, Bhaskar, this is only for the weekend batch, right?
Yeah, this is weekend. I'm only working, right? I'm also working. So this will be only weekend again, either Saturday or Sunday. In some cases, we will take 2 days if people are available. In some cases, right, there will be holidays and all. So we will arrange that. Like sometime we will go ahead for Saturday and Sunday as well. Sometimes Sunday, sometimes Saturday. We will have WhatsApp group and we will get the majority call there in the group. So
Okay. What about the timing and duration?
timing will be like sometime 11 to 12, or 12 to 1. That is also flexible. We can decide that on the go, but most of the time it will be 12 to 1 or 11 to 12.
And the duration is 2 months, right?
2 months, and this class duration will be 2 hours, two
Okay,
to
thank
three
you.
hours Yeah, based on your capacity, like how you understanding the things. So sometime 2 hours or sometime 3 hours.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other question? I think few people joined very late, I guess, so they can ask questions if they have any. Santosh, you have any question? Sharon, Sheetal?
No.
No, sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you all for joining this session. I'm really sorry there was some issue with this, audio stuff. Okay, fine then. Get in touch with Yogesh and team. They will guide you to book your slots, and we will see you there in the sessions, right? So rest assured, sessions will be very quality sessions. As I'm working like 11 years in banking only, all the client and my past experience in banking only. So we'll get some good examples, some good scripting part, and some good experience level. So you'll get the good confidence, and you will start your, if you are 3 to 4 years of experience, I can assure you to transform into the performance profile. But if you have 10 plus 12 plus, then I'll simply say 1 year. You can easily mention 1 year in performance testing, right? And we will guide you through the references, placement assistance, that's sure with testometer, right? Okay, fine then. If no any further questions, you can we can close it here. If you have questions, you can reach out to Yogesh, and then we can solve your queries. Yeah. Thank you all. Have have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.